A lot of paper towels, and I got oil everywhere.
Are you filming this?
Yes. Not good.
Sailboat in the moonlight and June. Wouldn't that be heaven? Oh, heaven just for two. A soft breeze on a June night and June. What a perfect setting for letting dreams come true.
Anybody who's cruised before knows that voyage time is also project time sometimes, and Deb and I are cruisers certainly, and we've taken on a few projects as we motor. You can see here we're motoring down Adolphus Reach. The autopilot is going, the engine's running smoothly, and we're both in the cockpit taking turns keeping watch. Debbie's doing her cushions. Tell us what you're doing there, Deb.
I had ordered some filler cushions from an upholsterer, and he did them exactly how I asked him, but they were still too big. So I've cut them down myself, and I'm just sewing them back into the coverings. And
what are they for?
They're for our berths that we sleep in, but they were a little bit too wide, so I had to cut some foam off. And although I want to say again that the upholsterer did do it exactly how I asked him,
yes.
So I was to blame for that. It was my mistake.
Get what you asked for.
That's right. So now I'm paying the consequences.
And I'm doing some cleaning of the fenders. Our fenders are looking a little old, and I have attempted to clean them with several things. One was an eraser that was not very magical, and the second was some cream that did not clean with vigor. Enough said. Anyway, I'm going to inflate them and put new lines on them because the old lines were getting kind of grotty. So anyway, we cut them off, a nice clean line on them, and we clean them as best we could. I think we're going to make covers for the fenders, but that's what's going on right now in Adolphus Reach. Good morning. We're just back at Premier's Cove, staging for our family reunion, which is going to be at Main Duck Island again. Kind of doing the same thing over and over, but we love it, so that's what we're going to do. One thing we should do while we're here and we're in clear water is go down and check the keel and check the rudder and make sure everything is as it should be, and not a lot of dirt growing on it. So let's go for a swim. Early morning at Premier's Cove. We're going in to get some laundry done and get some computer time on the internet. No comment about that. And then we're going to go to Picton. The laundry's all bagged up. Deb's just clearing off the last of the laundry on the lines so we don't look like the Beverly Hillbillies. Wind's up, but it's probably going to be on the nose, which is pretty much par for the course when we sail. We have to go to Picton. Wind is coming from Picton, so it's going to be a bit of tacking involved. Anyway, we'll get all this laundry put away and get our computer put away, and off we go. We have a tradition in our family. Every time we want to go somewhere, we always end up with the wind on the nose. So you can see there, we have 11 knots of wind directly in front of us, which is the worst possible scenario for sailing. So anyway, we've had a quiet lunch, Deb and I, and we're just motor sailing up. When you have commitments and you're cruising, that means you've got to sometimes go against the wind. But I will take the advice of my good friend Hank, and I will, in the future, only go where the wind is blowing. I think that's wise. Unless I have to go the other way. You ready to get funky?
Cue the phone.
You gonna get funky?
Yeah!
Back at anchor in Premier's Cove, just staging now for our trip to Maine Duck with the kids and our family reunion, which we're super looking forward to. I've discovered that the blower in my engine compartment was put in backwards at some point. Whether that was the factory or whether that was a previous owner, I don't know. But the blower should draw air out of the engine compartment, but instead this one was putting air into the engine compartment, which could be dangerous if you consider that, you know, if we had a propane leak or if we had an exhaust leak or something from the engine, we'd have no way of getting it out, really. We'd just be pushing more air inside, which would put it into the cabin. So anyway, I'm taking this blower, and it is directional, and hope you can see that, and I'm going to turn it around. And it was this way, now it's going to be this way, and hopefully we'll get it working right. Okay, let's try it. Deb, is it blowing out the blower? Can you check it and make sure it's blowing out and not drawing air in? Excellent. Perfect. Well, we're right in the middle of another little project that you have to do on a regular basis on a boat. I started the engine up, ran it for about 10 minutes, got it up to 160 degrees, and then pressurized this unit, which goes into the dipstick hole. And now we're pumping out the oil. We're going to put some new 30 weight oil in and a new filter, and we should be good to go for another chunk of time. You can see the oil extractor has marks on it that denote 1 liter. So far we have 3 liters and a little bit out. We should have about 3.5 liters in the engine. One thing you have to do when you change the oil is change the oil filter. Now, when you do that, on a Westerbeek anyway, the oil filter is horizontal, so the opening's on this sideways. So what I do is a little trick. I take a plastic bag, I put the bag right over top of it, and then I crank it out. That way it's contained, whatever oil spills be contained in the bag. There's the sound of the last of the oil. So, and we do have 3.5 liters. Look at that. 1, 2, 3.5. So, anyway, it's time to take the oil filter off, and then we'll screw on a new one. Now, make sure you buy good quality oil filters. An inexpensive oil filter, has no weight to it. You'll notice that when you pick it up. Secondly, a good quality oil filter generally won't collapse and cause a plugging of your oil filtering capabilities on the engine. So I buy the more expensive filters generally, and Westerbeek when I can get my hands on them. But they're basically the same as say this one from a company in Canada. There are other companies, they cross over anyway. You'll be able to go online and find out which ones they are. Buy the good quality ones. They're $3 more. I mean, almost nothing. But you know you're not getting a lightweight filter, and you're going to get good clean oil. Let's go. That was a fail. My filter is leaking all over the place. All the bags we have holes in them. Things don't always go as expected. Yeah, what can I say? Where's my new filter? Right here. Okay. So, we're going to get a little bit of oil inside the filter. We'll get a little bit of oil around the lip of the filter. And then we will screw it on. So, I've got a part can here. Now in the case of this engine, because the filter's got to go in sideways, I'm going to slop oil again when I do this, and I don't want to. So what I'm going to do, I've saturated the interior of this with oil. It's kind of absorbed into the filament, but I haven't put so much in that it's liquid to the top. So I'd let it sit for a little while, roll it around in here so the filament actually gets absorbed, absorbs all the oil. And then there will be a little tiny moment where this is filling up, where it will rob oil from the flow into the engine. But not so much that it'll cause problems. And now that can go on. are they, Dev?
They're where they always are.
Okay, that helped.
Talk to me.